Hello guys, so I've had a delivery from Legend Motorcycle. In fact, there look, Legend Biking. Yep, bloke called Ian. I got a side stand off him and the linkage. So what I'm going to do is I'll unwrap that and then we'll get the frame out on the bike because it's been absolutely belting it down all day. It's only just stopped, and then we'll try and fit this linkage to it and see what crack is. So we're back in a minute. Right, so a side stand with a spring. I just need to source some nuts and bolts, but I'm pretty sure I can find some in there. And then the suspension and dog bones with bolts. It's in pretty good nick, that, isn't it? It's quite clean. Well happy with that. So we will get... Right, that's going to be for my burning bin. So I'll get this out and then I'll just yeah, 2 seconds. Right. So I've sort of got it on, but I haven't got it on, and let me show you why. So you can clearly see the suspension linkage there, but the only way I could get that bolt through was to put the this dog bone on the inside of the mounting for the dog bones for the VFR, which, to be honest with you, has then pushed the shock absorber right over. If I can see there, look, the suspension arm, the dog bone just through there is clearly, you can see that it's strained, let's call it. So what I'll do is, let me just move that out of the way a minute. Shoot that over there somewhere. So you can see there, look, so I know obviously that needs to be on this side. Let me just see if I can get it on this side. Right. So, as it happens, that bit of wood there is just perfect. It just holds it at the right size. But you can clearly see what's happening there. So the question is, do I get something milled off there so that'll go up, or do I get some new dog bones fabricated with a slight kink? How can I, that looks a bit like not a letter S, but it needs to be where it says 3GM there. It needs to just come out, sort of like come out a bit, doesn't it? And then carry on straight forward, like a bit like a Z sort of thing. I don't know. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'll try and oh, right. Let me just. Right, I'll try and get the bolt in there somehow. 2 seconds. Right, I couldn't actually get that bolt in, so I've just rammed a screwdriver through for now. But the thing is, look at the shock absorber there. Look, it's so close to that swinging arm, isn't it? There's going to be no movement at all there. Come on, Dave, move. Bog off with your bloody stones. So the question is, if them dog bones are shorter, if I get some new dog bones made and they're shorter, obviously it's going to lower the subframe nearer towards the wheel, isn't it? And you can clearly see, look, that the width of that bit where that bolt goes through is obviously wider than that there, isn't it? That there. So on a Thunderace swinging arm, that width there must be the same on the swinging arm. So this obviously this VFR one is a lot wide, a lot thinner. You know, not as wide there as that is. So what if you see, I can't get this reduced anymore, can I? Because the dog bones will then be rubbing against the shock, the spring. Because we're only talking, there's only maybe 5mm on each side there. So how can I do this? How can I do it? I think the cheapest, easiest thing will be to get some dog bones made, won't it? Designed. Because the other thing I've got to consider as well is the wheel has obviously got to stay central. Now if you look there, look, you can see the wheels to one side, because what I'm doing is I'm lining up the centre of the wheel with that slit, because I'm guessing that slit is centre, so I'm trying to line up the centre of the wheel with that slit. So if we have a look, you can see the wheels completely to one side, so that means that's why I had that board out and a new bit put in, because the swinging arm, I think, needs to be over to the left, doesn't it? So that'll be closed up, and I think I'll need a spacer for that side, but I can't move it over to the left because I've got the dog bones attached. Right, hang on, I need a piss. I'm buzzing for a piss. I'll be back in a minute. Right, so the only way I can do it is the centre of the wheel now. The centre of the wheel looks to be lined up with that little groove, doesn't it, where the seat latch goes, or whatever the fuck it is. Yep. And if we look here, where is it? There, look. When it focuses in. Come on, you piece of shit. And then at that side, there's a big space. Now you can see that the shock is still going to grind on that. So although I've cut a load out, it's still sort of like not right, if that makes sense. I knew this was going to be tricky anyway, but move, Dave, come on, move. So now if I look at it, that, because I've lowered the back end down a bit as well, that actually looks a little bit better. I need a front end on, don't I? Dave, move! So if I get a front end on, we'll be able to tell then. And then if I show you these, you see that's, look, it's fucking miles out. Isn't it? You know, that's just miles out, is that? So I've got a couple of options. What do I do? you can't. I obviously can't, you know, continue like that. That's, do you know, with that, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just too close, isn't it? That's ridiculous, is that? And we've got to line the chain up as well with the engine. What I need is, I need an empty engine in it, don't I? I need a front end on. I need an empty engine with the output shaft for the gearbox with the sprocket on, and then I need a length of chain. And if I can get the chain lined up, then I'm guessing that the wheel will automatically line up in the centre. Actually, come to think of it, is that wheel even... Does that wheel even look... I think it's nearly in the centre, isn't it? But it's just not quite, that wheel. It still needs to come over a bit. But the more I bring it over, the more extreme these are going to have to be. You can see that I haven't tightened them up, I've just put it on loose. Right. Right guys, I think I need to obviously think about this, don't I?